Good morning, students. Today we are going to study chapter 5 of NCERT book, Principles of Inheritance and Variation. Have you ever wondered, children, that no two individuals they are same? There must be some differences in two individuals whether they belong to same parents. Even identical twins have some differences between them. So the branch of biology that deals with the study of principles of inheritance and variation, it is said to be heredity. So in genetics we study about the inheritance of different types of characters from parents to offspring. Beside this, what is the cause of variation and how these variations they are caused, this we also study in genetics, right? So now the new word is there, inheritance. You all are familiar with this word, children. Inheritance means transfer of traits from parents to their offspring, or transfer of characters, right? There is a difference between characters and trait. Like height is the character, but whether the individual is tall or it is dwarf, these are the traits. Okay, so there is a difference between character and traits. So the transfer of characters from parents to offspring, it is said to be inheritance, right? Now one term is there, it is variation. So what is the meaning of variation? I told you earlier that no two individuals they are same. So there are some differences between two individuals, whether they are plants or whether they are animals, right? In asexually reproducing organisms, these differences they are quite less, but in sexually reproducing organism, you will see these differences more. So variation can be defined as the degree by which progeny differ from their parents. Okay, variation may be in terms of morphology, it may be in physiology. Means morphology means the external structure of individual. You can see certain differences, like eye color may be different, hair texture may be different in two individual, right? Skin color, right? So many other differences they are there. Physiology means their behavior may be different. Physiology may be different, means there is certain the many life processes which are occurring inside the body. So there may be difference in the physiology, there may be difference in the cytology, right? And there may be difference in the behavior belonging to the same species, right? So variation, you can say, it is the degree by which progeny differ from their parents. Okay, so these three terms they are very important. So you have to learn what is genetics, what do you understand by inheritance, and what is variation. Okay, now children, this is the picture of Gregor Johann Mendel, right? Gregor Johann Mendel, he was father of genetics, right? So actually the work of Mendel in the field of genetics is remarkable, right? So as the Mendel was first to introduce mathematics in biology, right? So he gave 3 laws, right, which are based on, these are actually the mathematical laws. So he defined these laws with the help of mathematics. Okay, so he was the first scientist who introduced mathematics in biology. So children, you know that human knew from as early as 8000 to 10,000 BC. BC means before Christ, that one of the cause of variation is hidden in sexual reproduction. Means at 8000 to 10,000 BC, human knew that the variations are there in the individual, but what is the principle behind this variation, they doesn't know, right? So this is the use of, and they know that whenever there is sexual reproduction, variation will be there in the individual. So the knowledge of these variation, they use this knowledge of variation, right, in producing many hybrids, animals and plants, right? They knew that if we will take an animal of desirable trait and we will reproduce that individual with the other animal having desirable trait, then the progeny will have the desirable characteristics. Okay, so through artificial selection, means artificial breeding, right, domestication of some animals, it was done, right? For example, this Sahiwal cow in Punjab, right? So it was recognized by the ancestor. So this Sahiwal cow, which is a very which has a very high milk yielding capacity, this cow was actually recognized by the ancestors. So they made this female cow having many desirable characteristics with a male, and then the calf which was produced, it has a desirable characteristics. Okay, so the knowledge of variation to our ancestors is exploited for giving rise to many hybrid plants as well as animals. Now, Mendel's variations and Mendel's law of inheritance. So there are mainly, what are the causes of variations? All these things, they are not in your this chapter, but later on you will study all these things. So variation mainly arises due to reshuffling of genes, right? When genes changes their place from one to another, or reshuffling of genes in the chromosome, it is there. You know children, genes, they are the DNA segments. Okay, so reshuffling of genes, crossing over or recombination, crossing over, you all are well versed about meiosis, right? In meiosis, you know, crossing over takes place, and this crossing over, there is a change of genes of maternal and paternal genes, they are exchanged, which is the main cause of variation, right? And mutation sometimes, and the effect of environment, right? If two individual, they are growing in different environment, then also some variations are there. Mainly some variations, morphological variation, you will see there in these individuals. Okay, and sometimes mutations, sudden changes in the organisms takes place due to some you can say when they are exposed to certain radiations and all. Then also, or inside in a genic level also, certain mutations takes place. So these mutation may lead to the variations. Okay, now we will study about the Mendel's law of inheritance. Mendel conducted hybridization experiment on garden pea. Hybridization means, children, when you take two different traits into consideration, right? Like you are taking a violet flower, right, and you are crossing it with a white flower. So two different traits of same color here it is color, and trait here they are white and violet. So when you are crossing these two different colors flower, you will get a hybrid, right? So this is said to be the, when you are cross pollinating these flower, then you will get a hybrid. Okay, so Mendel conducted hybridization experiment on garden pea. So the botanical name of garden pea is Pisum sativum, for 7 years, and he proposed a law of inheritance in the living organisms. So it is very important that why he chose this Pisum sativum for his experiments. This comes in your examination. So what are the criteria for selection of pea plant for experiment? Right? So there are certain criteria which was fulfilled by the pea plant, right? Therefore it was selected as a for the experiment of Mendel. So first point was pea has many distinct contrasting character. In your book 7 contrasting character it is given, right? For a same character 2 different traits they are there. So 7 such characters they are there in a pea plant, right? Therefore he selected pea plant for his experiment. Beside this, lifespan of pea plant is quite short, right? You know children, it is annual plant and it have very short life cycle. So several generation can be studied within a short period. Okay, that is why he selected pea plant for his experiments. Beside this, pea plant is a perfect bisexual flower containing both male and female parts, right? Now children, in pea plant the flowers are predominantly self-pollinating, right? So flowers show self-pollination, or they are predominantly pollinating. So it is easy to get pure line for several generation. Now here what is the meaning of pure line? When this continuous self-pollination is done for several generation, then the expression of particular type of trait gets stable. Suppose if we are taking violet and white flower and if we are taking pure violet flower and we are self-pollinating it with white flower, then what will happen? After several generation we will get this violet flower. Okay, so little bit if we are taking a violet flower and we are self-pollinating it for a several generation, then the seed which we will get they will be pure line. Again same way, if we are taking another trait that is white color and we are self-pollinating these white flower for several generation, the seeds which we will get after 5 to 6 generation, they will be the pure line seeds. Okay, so that if one trait is the expression of one trait is again and again in several generation, that means this after 5-6 generation the seed which you are getting or the trait which you are getting, they are the pure line trait. Okay, the stable trait you are getting. I think it is clear to you, right? So this is the most important thing about the pea plant, that it is predominantly self-pollinating. So it is predominantly self-pollinating, so you can get a pure line for several generation. Now children, in pea plant you can do cross pollination also, right? By taking 2 pea plant into consideration, right? So from one plant you can introduce the stigma of another plant by removing the anthers. Okay, so in because you know children, mainly the pea plant is self-pollinating. So if you will not remove the anther from, if you want to do the cross pollination, you have to do the emasculation, means in one if you are taking flower color in consideration, or if you are studying any of the trait, you have to remove the anther from one flower. Otherwise, instead of cross pollination, self pollination will takes place and you will not get the desired result. So you can do cross pollination by removing the anthers from the flower. One other very important reason for selecting pea plant for experiments of Mendel, that pea plant can produce large number of seeds in one generation. In one generation it can produce enormous number of seeds, right? So it can be selected, right? Now one very important reason for selection of pea plant is pea plant could easily be raised, maintained, and it can easily be handled. Okay, and most important point for selecting the pea plant, which we already discussed, that pea plant have easily detectable, you can see easily all the 7 contrasting trait you can see easily in pea plant, right? So this is the criteria for selection of pea plant for experiments. Now these are the character. I told you earlier there is a difference between character and traits. Character, they are seed shape, seed color, flower color, pod shape, pod color, flower position, and stem height. So these are the character, right? And trait means if the seed shape is round or wrinkled. So round and wrinkled, they are the trait, right? One is the dominant trait, other is the recessive trait. So in seed shape you will get 2 types of seed in pea plant. One is round and the other is wrinkled. Now another character was seed color. Seed color, it is yellow. The seed may be yellow or it may be green. Children, yellow color is the dominant trait. Dominant trait means the trait which express itself, it is said to be the dominant trait. And recessive trait, if it is present in a pure form, then only it will be able to express itself, otherwise not, right? So in the hybrid form, recessive trait never express itself. Okay, so here yellow color is the dominant trait and green color is the recessive traits. Okay, now the flower color, 2 types of flowers they are there, violet and white. Violet is the dominant trait and white is the recessive trait. Same way, if we consider pod shape, 2 types of pod shape, one is full and other is constricted, right? Now pod color, so full is a dominant trait and constricted is a recessive trait. Now pod color may be green or it may be yellow. So green color is the dominant trait and yellow color is the recessive trait. Other is flower position, it may be axial, it arises from the axil, right? Or it may be terminal. Okay, so again axial is the dominant trait and terminal is the recessive trait. Now the stem height, stem may be tall, the plant may be tall, right? And it may be dwarf. So these are the 7 contrasting traits studied by the Mendel in his experiments, right? All these traits, they are given in your NCERT book in page number 70 and 71, right? So in page number 71, one table is given of contrasting traits studied by Mendel in pea, and in this the first trait is the first trait which is written in your NCERT book, it is the dominant trait and the other one is the recessive trait. Is it clear, children? Now what was the working method of Mendel? Mendel studied one character at a time, right? He used all available technique to avoid cross pollination by undesirable pollen grain. So the technique known that time, it was used by the Mendel to avoid cross pollination, because he was conducting most of the experiment, he was conducting with cross self pollination. So he used many techniques to avoid the cross pollination. So he applied mathematics and statistics. It is very important. The use of mathematics was done by Mendel to analyze. It was the first time that mathematics was used in biology, because these two subjects, they are you can say they are these two subjects, they are quite different from each other, but Mendel was the first scientist who introduced maths and statistics to analyze the result obtained in biology. So, and Mendel selected 7 contrasting characters, which we have already discussed, of garden pea for his hybridization reaction. I already told you that hybridization means when pollination is done between two different traits, then it is said to be to get hybrid. Okay, hybrid means which have dominant as well as recessive gene. If both the genes are present in progeny, that means it is hybrid. Contrasting characters studied by Mendel in pea. So he used garden pea or Pisum sativum for studying it, for conducting his experiments. So Mendel conducted artificial hybridization. I told you, whenever he wants to do the crossing over, this cross pollination, he used to cut the anthers of one flower. Okay, so by artificial hybridization, cross pollination using true breeding pea lines. True breeding, I told you, that is right. True breeding lines are those that undergo continuous self-pollination. I told you earlier, true breeding line or pure lines, they are for several generation. If the same plant is undergoing this self-pollination, the seeds which you will get, they are the pure line seeds, right? So it is written stable trait inheritance, means after some time that trait will become stable. Suppose if you have selected plant height for study, then if you want to get a pure line tall plant and pure line dwarf plant, you will do self pollination of tall plant for at least 5-6 generation. So after some time, what you will see, that this state becomes stable, that after 5-6 generation, whenever you will grow seeds of that plant, you will always get tall plant, never the short plant or dwarf plant. Okay, so stable trait means that trait, that character, it becomes stable, means it doesn't changes, it will not show any change in successive generations. Okay, so steps in making cross pollination. So here in NCERT book, page number 71, figure 5.2 is given. So you will see that the violet pea flower is there, right? And with with the help of scissor, the anther in violet flower, anther, it was removed, right? And then the cross pollination was done, right? And removal of anther, you know children, it is said to be emasculation, right? And then the transfer of pollination from one flower to another flower, it is done artificially. So we are doing this artificially, then it is said to be artificial hybridization. And after pollination, you know, the seeds, they are formed, the entire process, the detailed study you have done in previous lessons. Okay, so I am not going to explain all those things. So now this pollination takes place, and after pollination seeds, they are formed, right? And these seeds, when they are grown, right, then you will see that in first generation all tall plant appear. Okay, means from, if you see externally or from only, means only one trait is expressed in first generation. Okay, so when violet and white flower, they are crossed with each other in first generation, and the seeds, they are produced, and if these seeds you will sow in the ground, and when the plant appears, in all the plants you will get the violet colored flower, though white color was also there. White color flower were also there earlier for cross pollination. So right, so now inheritance of one gene, that is monohybrid cross. So first of all children, what do you understand by the term monohybrid cross? Cross involving study of inheritance of one character. If you are taking only one character, that is if you are taking only height in consideration, means dwarf or tall. So two traits you are taking of one character, and if you are studying one character in one time, then it is said to be monohybrid cross. So cross involving study of inheritance of one character, it is said to be monohybrid cross. So Mendel crossed tall and dwarf pea plant. So when he crossed means cross pollination. And how he performed this experiment? As in earlier picture I have shown you that emasculation of violet flower, it was done, right? So Wendell crossed tall and dwarf plant and collected all the seed obtained from the cross. He grew all the seeds to generate plant of first hybrid generation. So he saw that the all plants which was there in first generation, they were all tall. Okay. So one by one he studied all the 7 contrasting character. So he saw that the only one trait appear in first filial generation, and that trait he called as a dominant trait. Means that trait which is appearing in first generation or first filial generation, he called it as first filial generation. So the trait which express itself in first filial generation was said to be the dominant trait, right? Now children, here is the cross which was performed by the Mendel. So you are seeing here that pure tall, which is represented by TT, right? So allele is the different various form of genes, they are said to be the allele. So allele, so pure tall TT and pure dwarf is always represented by the small TT. You never express it as DD. Okay. So the small letter of dominant trait is always written as a recessive trait, right? Whether it is start from D, but you have to write always the first, as you are writing the dominant trait, the small one will be for the recessive trait. Both will be similar. Okay. So first of all, you know, whenever this fertilization takes place, prior to fertilization, formation of gamete is there. So here 2 gametes they are there. One is capital T, other is small t. So when it is crossed, when cross pollination is done between capital T and small t, you will get all hybrid tall plant. Okay. So you are getting all hybrid, and so this is the first filial generation where you are getting all the hybrid talls. Means the phenotype means the trait which express from outside, means which we can see from outside. The morphological trait which we are seeing from outside, it is said to be the phenotype, right? Because to study the genotype or the genic constitution of any plant, it is quite difficult. This we will study in the molecular biology. So in first filial generation, the phenotype, that means what you see from outside, that all plant were tall, no, right? So where this dwarf trait was disappear, so where was it, right? Later on, when the self pollination is done between the seeds which we get from the first filial generation, then he saw that the recessive trait also express itself, right? So here the phenotype ratio means you will see 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant. Okay. So here the recessive trait also express itself. So in a pure line, that is in homozygous condition, the pure dwarf character will be there, right? Whenever the dwarf trait will be in a hybrid form, it will never be able to express itself. Then only the dominant trait will express. Okay. So here the phenotypic ratio was 3:1, right? That is 75% of plant they were tall and only 25% was dwarf. Okay. Now what is the genotypic ratio? If you see the genic constitution, then what you will see that one plant is pure tall, means TT, capital T, right? Two plants they are hybrid, that is capital T, small t, and only one plant was dwarf. So here the ratio was 1:2:1. So this is the genotypic ratio which was there in second filial generation when Mendel self-pollinate the seeds which he get in first filial plant of first filial generation. Okay children. So after this the Mendel gave first law, that is law of dominance. What was that law? This law states that if two alternative form of trait or character, right, are present in organism, then only one factor itself. Children, that time gene term was not coined, right? So instead of gene, Mendel used the term factor. So only one factor expresses itself in F1 progeny, right? And the factor which expresses itself in first filial generation, it is said to be dominant, while the other which is masked, it is said to be the recessive. Masked means which does not appear in first filial generation, it is said to be the recessive trait. Okay. Mendel called the factors that passes through gamete from one generation to next generation. After Johnson coined the term genes, then this factor it was, nowadays we use term genes here. Nowadays it is called genes, which are the unit of inheritance. This you know very well. So genes that code for a contrasting traits, they are said to be, one gene will code for two pair of contrasting, means one character means height, right? It is a character and it will code for one pair of contrasting character, that is height will be tall or dwarf. So genes that code a pair of contrasting character, it is said to be the allele. So alphabetical symbol used to represent each gene, capital letter TT, you know that this is the pure line or homozygous condition, right? In homozygous condition, that is capital T, whenever capital letter is there, that means it is the dominant trait, and recessive trait is always expressed with a small letter. Okay. So small letter TT for other gene. So two types of gene are there. One is the dominant gene which express itself in the first filial generation, right? And the recessive gene which get masked by the dominant gene. Now children, I am playing one video. Go through this video. It is very
Take a look at this family photo.
interesting, and you will be, after
Can you see
watching,
that the color of the
it become
child's
more
eyes
clearer
is
to
blue,
you.
just like her parents? Now, take a look at this picture. Here, the child has light brown hair, while that of his parents is black. What accounts for such similarities and differences? The answer to this and several related questions are dealt with in genetics, a branch of biology that studies inheritance and variations in characters among related organisms, largely in their evolutionary aspects. Inheritance is the basis of heredity. It is the process of passing characters from parents to offspring. Variation, on the other hand, is the degree by which an offspring differs from its parents. Human beings have been using their knowledge of genetics since prehistoric times. Our ancestors knew that sexual reproduction was one of the causes of variation. Based on this principle, they practiced domestication and selective breeding of animals and plants. For example, the Sahiwal cow found in Punjab was obtained through artificial selection and the domestication of ancestral wild cows. However, our ancestors had very little knowledge about the scientific basis of genetics. It was only in the mid-19th century that advances were made in the field of genetics by Gregor Johann Mendel. Mendel was an Augustinian priest and scientist who gained fame posthumously for spearheading the science of genetics. He proposed several laws of inheritance by conducting extensive research and hybridization experiments on garden peas, or by some sativum, for about 7 years. Hybridization is the process of crossing two individuals differing in at least one character, resulting in a hybrid individual. The reason for Mendel choosing common pea plants for his research was that the plant had various contrasting characters such as length of the plant, color of the pod, and shape of the seed that were visible to the naked eye. Moreover, self-pollination as well as cross-pollination was possible in these plants, and crossing between these plants could be controlled. In addition, these plants grow quickly and produce a large number of offspring. Mendel, for the first time, had applied statistical analysis and mathematical logic to problems in biology. He chose 14 pairs of true breeding pea lines similar in all aspects except for one character to conduct cross-pollination or artificial pollination experiments. A true breeding line exhibits stable trait inheritance and expression for many generations due to continuous self-pollination. Round or wrinkled seeds, yellow or green seeds, green or yellow pods, and tall or dwarf plants were some of the contrasting traits chosen by Mendel. The use of true breeding lines helped Mendel create a basic framework of rules relating to inheritance, which were later expanded as scientists discovered new information pertaining to genetics. Also, the data collected by Mendel was quite credible, as he had used a large sampling size for his experiments. Moreover, as he conducted experiments on several generations of test plants, it helped him confirm his inferences and prove that his rules were not unconfirmed ideas, but general rules of inheritance in all living organisms. However, the world had to wait till the end of the 20th century to understand the significance of Mendel's discoveries. Due to his valuable research in the field of genetics, Mendel came to be known as the father of genetics, and the rediscovery of his laws laid the foundation for the modern science of genetics. Now, let's take a look at the different terms that we come across while studying genetics. A gene or a factor is the functional unit of heredity material, that is, DNA. In other words, it is a unit of DNA that is responsible for the appearance and inheritance of a character. The alternative form of a gene located at a specific position on a specific chromosome is known as the allele. It governs the trait of an individual and is generally represented by a letter. A trait can be defined as a distinct variant of an organism's phenotypic character, which may be inherited or environmentally determined. For example, the color of petals is a character or an attribute, while the colors pink, violet, and white are traits. The genetic makeup of an organism is designated by the term genotype, while the appearance of the organism is designated by the term phenotype. Also, every organism possesses two alleles for each character. If these two alleles for a particular character are identical, the gene is said to be homozygous or pure, and the individual is called a homozygote. On the other hand, if an organism possesses two contrasting or different alleles in a pair, the gene is called heterozygous, and the individual is called a heterozygote. In a heterozygote, only one of the contrasting genes is able to express itself, while the other gene remains hidden. This gene, which expresses itself in the F1 hybrid, is called the dominant gene, while the gene that is unable to express itself is called the recessive gene. F1 hybrid or first filial generation is the first generation of plants or animals obtained from cross-mating distinctly different parent types. When two individuals of the first filial generation are self-fertilized, the resulting progeny is called the second filial generation or F2 hybrid. Self-fertilization is the term used when fertilization takes place between male and female gametes from the same individual. The study of inheritance of one pair of contrasting characters is known as a monohybrid cross. For example, the study of inheritance of tall and dwarf plants, while the study of inheritance of two pairs of contrasting characters is known as a dihybrid cross. For example, the study of inheritance of round and yellow seeds and wrinkled and green seeds. To determine if an individual is homozygous dominant, heterozygous, or homozygous recessive, a back cross or a test cross is carried out. A back cross is a cross between the F1 generation progeny and any of its parents, while a test cross is a part of a back cross between F1 individuals with a homozygous recessive parent, and it is performed to determine the unknown genotype. Thus, genetics explains how traits are passed on from parents to their young ones, and the principles governing genetics were discovered by Gregor Johann Mendel, the father of genetics.
So children, this much for today. Thank you very much children.